All right, so I think we can jump right in. We're going to be covering passive income today.
Sounds good.
We've got a whole stack of articles and research all about building wealth without being chained to a desk,
Yeah.
you know, that 9-to-5 grind.
Right.
You ready to unlock some financial freedom?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
What I find really interesting about passive income is
Yeah,
it's not just one thing you know.
right.
There's not just like this magic formula or anything.
Yeah.
It's a whole spectrum
Right.
of strategies.
Totally.
You know, from stuff you might already be familiar with,
Mhm.
classic investments to digital ventures to even like some really unique approaches.
I love that. And that's what we're going to cover in this deep dive, right? We're going to go like really in depth
Yeah, for sure.
for all of this. So
We're not just going to like scratch the surface or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
We're going to really equip you
exactly.
with a solid understanding
Yeah.
of how all these different passive income streams work.
Yeah.
Their pros and cons
Yeah.
and what to watch out for, you know?
Exactly. And we're going to help people figure out like which ones are right for them.
Yeah.
Because not every single one of these is going to be right for every single person, right?
Right, exactly.
So first things first,
Okay.
when we say passive income,
Yeah.
we're not talking about winning the lottery
Right.
or getting rich, quick schemes,
Yeah, no, none of that.
none of that. So
It's not about like no work at all.
Right.
It's more about
right.
you do the work up front and you set up a system or invest in assets that will continue to make money
Mm-hmm.
over time with minimal upkeep from you.
Right. So it's still work. It's just like in a much smarter way.
It's front-loaded work.
Right.
You put the work in up front and then
Yeah.
the rewards come later.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like planting a tree.
Oh, I like that.
You put in the effort, you plant the seed, you nurture it, and then eventually it's bearing fruit without you having to constantly water it or prune it or anything.
I love that analogy.
And in this case, the fruit of our labor is that financial freedom and flexibility.
Right, exactly.
Wow. That sounds pretty good, right?
It does, yeah.
It definitely appeals to, I think, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Having that control over your time,
Yeah.
over your income.
Being able to pursue the things that you're really passionate about.
Yes.
Spending more time with loved ones
Yeah.
without being tied to that traditional 9 to 5.
Exactly.
It's a powerful motivator.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so now that we've kind of laid the groundwork here,
Okay.
let's get into some specifics.
Yeah.
We've got a mountain of research on all these different strategies, and I'm really eager to unpack it all.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where do you think we should start?
Well, I think since a lot of people associate passive income with investing,
Right.
why don't we kick things off with some of those classic examples,
Okay, yeah.
like dividend stocks?
Okay, dividend stocks, I think we've all heard that term before.
Yeah.
What makes them a good fit for someone who's like specifically looking for passive income?
Okay, so when you own dividend stocks, what you're doing is you're buying a piece of a company that regularly pays out a portion of its profits to its shareholders.
Okay.
So just by holding those shares, you're getting a steady stream of income.
So it's like, even if the stock price isn't going up a ton,
Right.
you're still getting paid just for being an owner.
Yeah, exactly. It's like getting paid to own something.
I like that.
Now, the key here is choosing the right stocks.
Okay.
It's not just about chasing the highest yield.
Okay.
You have to look at the company's financial health,
Right.
their track record, their potential for growth, all of that.
So it's not just about the payout right now, but also like, is it sustainable?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
A high dividend yield might look good on paper,
Right.
but if the company isn't fundamentally sound, those dividends could be at risk.
Right. That's a great point. So you got to do your research.
Yeah.
Make sure those dividends are coming from a good company.
Exactly.
So that's dividend stocks, all about kind of tapping into the profits of these established companies.
Yeah.
What about something like real estate rentals?
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that's another like classic example.
Yeah, it's a popular one for sure.
Of passive income. You buy a property,
Right?
you rent it out,
Mm-hmm.
people pay you every month. It's great, but
Yeah.
isn't being a landlord a ton of work?
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with tenants, repairs, all of that.
Doesn't seem very passive.
You're right. Managing properties directly can be very time consuming.
Yeah.
And that's where property managers come in.
Okay.
You can outsource a lot of those responsibilities and let someone else handle all that.
So you can still enjoy the benefits
Yeah.
of the investment without the hassle.
And not the day-to-day grind.
Right. So it's like you've got a team doing all the work
Yeah,
and you're just kind of reaping the rewards.
exactly.
Now, I've also heard of something called REITs.
Yes.
I'm a little fuzzy on the details, though.
Sure. REITs are real estate investment trusts.
Okay.
And think of it like this. You're buying shares in a company that owns and manages a bunch of different properties.
Okay. And they do all the work.
They handle everything. The property management, collecting rent, making repairs, all of it.
Okay.
And then they distribute the profits to the shareholders.
Oh, okay. So it's like I'm getting a tiny little piece of, like, a whole bunch of different properties without having to be a landlord.
Without any of the headaches.
That sounds much better to me, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So it sounds like whether we're talking about stocks or real estate, the key takeaway here is you really gotta do your research.
Absolutely.
Make sure you're making smart decisions.
Yeah.
Now, what about folks who are a little more risk averse? Like they don't want to be putting all their money in the stock market or real estate or whatever.
Right. Well, for those folks,
there
are some other more, I guess you could say, classic investment options to consider.
Okay.
Things like index funds, ETFs, bonds, even high-yield savings accounts.
Okay, yeah, those sound familiar, but are those really passive?
Yeah, I mean...
Because the growth is usually pretty slow with that, right?
Well, they don't have the same explosive growth potential as some of the other things that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But they do offer a steady and reliable way to grow your wealth over time with very minimal effort.
So it's less about getting rich quick and more about like building that slow and steady foundation.
Yeah, solid foundation for your future.
Okay. And diversification is key too, right?
Absolutely.
So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right. You want to spread things out.
Exactly. Okay.
Minimize your risk.
I think this is a good jumping off point for the next category.
Okay.
Which is digital assets.
Yes.
This is where things get really exciting, I think.
It is an exciting space, for sure.
So especially for people who love tech, love the online world.
It's amazing what's happening in the digital landscape. So many opportunities for passive income.
Yeah.
And it's really democratized entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a ton of money or resources to get started anymore.
Right. And I think a lot of people have thought about creating and selling digital products, like online courses, ebooks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that like a realistic way to make passive income?
It absolutely is. And what's so great about digital products is their scalability.
Okay.
You create them once and you can sell them over and over again without having to restock inventory or ship anything. Or
it's like you make it once and then you can just keep selling it forever. Exactly.
So you're basically taking your knowledge, your skills, your passions, whatever, turning it into a product that can reach a global audience.
A global audience, that's the beauty of it.
That's amazing. And there are so many platforms for this now, right?
Oh, yeah, tons. You've got Udemy, Skillshare, Thinkific for online courses.
Yeah.
Amazon Kindle, direct publishing for ebooks.
It really has never been easier.
It's incredible
to get this stuff out there.
It is.
Now, you mentioned scalability, and that makes me think about content creation, specifically like building a YouTube channel.
Right.
I think a lot of people dream about making money from their videos, but is that really passive?
Well, it takes effort up front.
Right.
You got to create the content.
Yeah.
Build an audience.
Right.
Get monetized, all of that.
Right.
But once you have a library of videos that are attracting viewers, that ad revenue can just keep rolling in.
Even when you're not actively creating new content.
So the work is front-loaded.
Exactly.
But then it becomes more passive over time.
That's the idea.
Okay, and that kind of goes for affiliate marketing as well, right?
So it does, yeah.
Like, you're recommending products that you love, and if people buy them through your links, you get a commission.
You get a cut.
It's like you're getting paid to share your recommendations.
Exactly.
Which is something we all do anyway.
We do, yeah.
So you might as well make some money from it.
Why not?
Right. Okay, so we've got courses, ebooks, YouTube, affiliate marketing, any other digital assets people can create and sell.
Oh, tons.
Oh, okay, like what?
Think about stock photos.
Okay.
Music.
Okay.
If you're good at photography, music production, you can upload your work to platforms like Shutterstock or Audio Jungle.
So instead of just posting those photos on Instagram, you can actually license them and get paid.
Exactly.
Every time someone uses them.
You're creating assets that can generate income passively.
I like it.
Even while you're off creating new ones.
Okay, so the digital world is a playground for passive income.
Absolutely.
This is already making my head spin with all the possibilities.
There's a lot to cover.
There is a lot to cover. We've only just scratched the surface, I feel like.
We have, but I think this is a good place to maybe pause for now.
Okay.
Give our listeners a chance to digest all this.
Great point. We'll be back soon with part 2 of this passive income deep dive.
Sounds good.
We're going to explore how technology can automate these income streams.
Right.
And uncover some truly unique strategies that you might not have even considered yet.
Can't wait.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. Ready to uncover even more ways to build that financial freedom.
Absolutely. In part 1, we explored some of those more classic passive income strategies like dividend stocks and real estate. And then we dove into the digital world, like digital assets and all that. I know there's even more to discover though, right?
Well, yeah, there's a whole universe of possibilities still out there.
I like it.
And in this segment, we're going to focus on some strategies that really tap into what you already have.
Okay.
Your skills, your passions, your assets.
Ooh, I like that.
We're not just talking about starting from scratch.
Right.
We're talking about leveraging what you already know and love to make money.
Okay, tell me more.
So let's start with skills and expertise.
Okay.
You've spent years honing your craft.
Right.
Building your knowledge base.
Yeah.
Why not monetize that expertise?
So instead of just being good at something, you can actually get paid to be good at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
And one of the most straightforward ways to do this is through consulting or coaching.
Okay. So, if I'm a marketing whiz or a finance guru or, I don't know, a tech expert, whatever, I can share that knowledge with other people who are willing to pay me for it.
Exactly. You can offer one-on-one coaching sessions, group workshops, even create online courses or membership programs, all focused on your area of expertise.
And with all the tools we have these days, like Zoom and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible.
I can do all of that remotely, right?
Absolutely.
So it doesn't even matter where I live.
You could be coaching clients from anywhere in the world.
That's amazing.
Talk about flexibility.
Yeah, it's the perfect blend of passion and practicality, I feel like.
It is, yeah.
You're doing what you love, you're helping people, and you're making money.
It's a win-win.
All right, so we've got skills. What else? What about leveraging...
what about unused space?
Okay, unused space. So I'm picturing people renting out their spare bedroom on Airbnb.
That's one option.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's one option, but think even broader. Storage space.
Okay.
Parking spots.
Okay.
Office space.
All right.
If you have space that's just sitting there, empty.
Yeah.
Why not turn it into an income stream?
If you live in a big city, parking is a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So you could rent out your driveway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Or maybe you have a finished basement.
Yeah.
That's perfect for a small business or someone who works from home.
I bet there are websites and apps for this.
Oh, there are tons, yeah.
Like what?
Neighbor, Spacer, Share My Space.
Oh, okay.
So many options.
So you're literally taking a space that might be sitting empty and turning it into
putting it to work for you.
Yeah. Love it. All right. What else?
What about all the stuff you own that you're not using?
Okay, so now we're decluttering.
It's more than just decluttering, though.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that the things you no longer need or use still have value.
Right.
And finding them a new home.
Okay.
Where they'll be appreciated.
So we're talking eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly. And consignment shops, thrift stores.
Yeah.
So many options.
So you clear out your space.
You simplify your life.
Yeah.
You make a little extra cash.
It's a win-win-win.
I love a good multitasking strategy.
Me too.
Okay, so we've talked about skills, unused space, any stuff. What other hidden gems are lurking in our everyday lives?
Okay, well, for all the animal lovers out there.
Yes, love it. Huge pet person myself. So.
Okay, well, if you love animals, there are tons of ways to turn that into passive income.
Okay, like what?
Pet sitting, dog walking.
That's a good one.
You get exercise, furry companionship.
Yeah.
And you get paid for it.
And there's such a demand for that, especially now.
Oh, yeah. Huge demand.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Especially as people are returning to the office.
Right.
After working from home.
Yeah, for sure. And there are apps for that too, right?
Oh, tons of apps. Rover, Wag, Care.com. It's super easy to find clients.
So you don't even have to go out and put up flyers or anything?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, cool.
And beyond pet sitting.
There's pet grooming, have photography.
Right.
You could even create and sell like pet treats, toys, accessories.
Wow, so many options.
The possibilities are endless.
It's amazing how many opportunities are out there
It is.
when you start thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
All right, what else? What else?
Let's talk about writing.
Ooh, writing.
A lot of people don't immediately associate writing with passive income,
Right.
but it can be a fantastic avenue.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a secret dream of, like, writing a book someday,
Right.
but that feels very daunting.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah.
But writing doesn't have to mean churning out novels.
Okay.
There's a huge demand for all sorts of content,
Right.
especially online.
So, like, blog posts,
Yeah.
website, comic.
Articles.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Freelance writing is a great way to leverage your writing skills and make passive income.
And if you've got, like, a niche or an area of expertise, then you can really, like, set yourself apart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And you can set your own rates, right?
Oh, yeah.
Choose your own project.
You get to pick and choose what you want to work on.
And there are platforms for that too, right?
Oh, tons.
Okay.
Upwork, Fiverr, ProBlogger, Job Board.
Okay, cool. So many options for writers these days.
So many options.
And even beyond freelance writing,
Sure.
like, what else can writers do?
You could create and sell ebooks
Okay.
or online courses on writing itself.
Right.
Offer editing or proofreading services, or even write and sell like greeting cards,
Yep.
personalized stationery.
So many creative options.
So many options.
It seems like every hobby or skill can be turned into
Yeah.
some kind of income stream.
It really is amazing.
You just got to be a little creative.
It's all about getting creative.
Now, before we move on,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something you mentioned earlier,
Okay.
which is mindset.
Right.
It seems like that's just as important
Oh, absolutely.
as choosing the right strategy.
Mindset is everything.
So what are some of the key mindset shifts?
Okay, well, first and foremost,
Yeah.
you need to cultivate a long-term perspective.
Okay.
Building sustainable passive income streams takes time
Yeah.
and effort and consistency.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme at all.
We've established that.
Yeah, you're planting those seeds and nurturing them over time.
Right, like that tree analogy.
Exactly.
So long-term perspective.
Long-term perspective.
What else?
And along with that,
Yeah.
you need to embrace a growth mindset.
Okay.
Be willing to learn, adapt, experiment.
Because things are constantly changing, right?
Things change so quickly in this space.
Especially in the online world.
You got to be able to pivot and adjust.
Yeah. Okay, so growth mindset is huge.
Huge, yeah.
And you got to be willing to take action, right?
You can't just sit around and think about it.
Right.
You have to actually do something.
Yeah, and celebrate those little wins along the way.
Oh, yeah. Celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, enjoy the journey.
It's about the journey, not just the destination.
It's all about mindset. All right, so we've explored all these different ways to leverage your existing skills, assets, passions
Yeah.
to generate this passive income.
It's been a lot of information.
It has been a lot of information. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, but there's still more to uncover.
That's right. In our final segment, we'll be sharing some practical tips
Yeah.
and resources
Love that.
to help you turn these ideas into action.
I'm excited for that.
So don't miss it. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've explored a ton of different passive income ideas,
We have.
from those classic investments to, like, really leveraging your existing skills and passions,
Yeah.
and even turning those passions into profit. But I know what our listeners are really eager for now is, like, those practical tips and resources,
Right.
you know, how to make it all happen.
Yeah.
So ready to turn inspiration into action.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so where do we even begin? There's so many different paths
Right.
to passive income. It can feel a little overwhelming.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement.
Yeah.
You just want to, like, jump right in.
Yeah.
But before you do that,
Yeah.
take some time to really research and plan.
Okay, so before I even, like, launch that online course or buy that rental property,
Yeah.
I need to hit the books a little bit.
Exactly. For any passive income idea that's piqued your interest,
Okay.
do your due diligence.
Okay.
Understand the market, the competition,
Yeah.
the startup costs, the potential return on investment. Don't just rely on, like, hype or surface level information.
So we're talking about, like, reading articles, doing some research.
Yes.
Maybe even talking to people who are already doing it.
Absolutely. Learn from their experiences.
Okay.
Both the good and the bad.
Yeah.
It's so valuable to get those insights from people who have actually done it.
And don't underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned business plan, right?
Yeah, a business plan is key.
Yeah.
Even if your passive income venture is like relatively small scale,
Yeah.
having a plan can really help you stay on track.
So it's like having a roadmap
Exactly.
for this whole journey.
It helps you define your goals, clarify your target audience,
Yeah.
outline your strategies, and set realistic expectations.
Speaking of expectations,
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to get swept up in this idea of like effortless passive income.
Effortless, yeah.
Like we all know there's no such thing as a free lunch, right?
Definitely not.
There's always going to be some effort involved.
You're going to have to put in some work
Right.
at some point.
It's just about like...
It's about minimizing that active work over the long term.
Right, exactly.
Not eliminating it completely.
So be realistic.
Be realistic about the time commitment,
Yeah.
even if it's just a few hours a week.
Right.
And be prepared to like adapt and adjust your approach as needed.
Right. Because things change.
Things change constantly.
Okay, so we've talked about research, planning, managing expectations. Now let's get to the fun stuff, like the tools and resources that can make this whole process easier and more efficient.
The good news is there are so many amazing tools out there
Right.
that can help streamline and automate
Yeah.
so many different aspects of building passive income.
Yeah, technology has really like
It's incredible.
leveled the playing field here.
Absolutely.
So much you can do with just a laptop and an internet connection.
Pretty much anything these days.
So where do we even start?
Okay, well, for starters, let's talk about managing your finances.
Oh, okay.
You know, keeping track of your income and expenses.
Yeah.
That's crucial for any business venture,
Right.
especially when you're dealing with multiple streams of income.
Okay, so we're talking about budgeting apps, expense trackers, all that.
Exactly. There are so many great personal finance apps out there.
Yeah.
A lot of them are free.
What are some of your favorites?
Mint, Personal Capital, YNAV are all popular choices.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of banks offer their own budgeting and tracking tools.
Right, so it's worth checking to see
Yeah,
if your bank already has something.
absolutely. And once you have a good handle on your finances,
Okay.
you want to look into tools that are specific to your chosen passive income strategies.
So like if I'm getting into e-commerce,
Yeah,
there are platforms for that, right?
exactly. Shopify is a fantastic all-in-one platform
Okay.
for creating and managing an online store.
And what about like creating and selling digital products?
Oh, for that, you've got platforms like Teachable and Thinkific.
Okay.
Those make it super easy.
And then like social media management tools.
Oh, yeah, those are essential.
If you're building an online presence, which is pretty much everyone these days.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
You've got Hootsuite, Buffer, Later, so many great options.
Yeah, those are lifesavers.
They can really help you streamline your social media marketing.
It's like having a virtual assistant.
Exactly.
And, you know, beyond all the technical tools,
Yeah.
don't forget about the human connection.
Oh, the human connection is so important.
Yeah.
There's so many incredible online communities out there
Yeah.
dedicated to helping people succeed with passive income.
Yeah, it's amazing like how supportive
It is, yeah.
that community is online.
Absolutely.
It's like a built-in cheer squad.
It's like having a whole team of mentors at your fingertips.
And you can find those communities no matter where you live in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay. So we've covered a ton of ground in this passive income deep dive.
Yeah.
We've explored ideas, strategies, mindset shifts, and even those practical tools and resources. It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot.
I hope our listeners are feeling more empowered
Yeah,
than overwhelmed at this point.
I hope so too.
The key takeaway here is like building these passive income streams.
Yeah.
It's a journey, not a destination.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It takes time. It takes effort. It takes a willingness to like,
You got to be willing to learn and adapt
yeah,
as you go.
but the rewards are worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
More financial freedom, more flexibility,
More control over your time and your
more
future.
control over your life.
Exactly.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
There's so much support out there.
There are so many resources. There's an amazing community.
Yeah.
So as you're embarking on this journey, stay curious, stay persistent.
And most importantly, stay passionate.
The possibilities are truly endless.
They really are.
This has been an incredible deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.